talk this Friday, whatever day it is. Oh, I know what day it is. It's the 8th. It's May 8th. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how things are feeling after this shakedown we just had with the Scorpio full moon. I've talked to many of you since the full moon happened, and it has not been an easy ride. Wait, are you kidding? What did I say? You guys. I'm sorry. I don't know why I insist on telling you the date every morning. I feel like it's important. I feel like it's important for me to tell you what the date is. But I'm never right. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, anyway. So, whatever. It's May 8th. It's fine. Okay. Moving forward. So, anyway. Scorpio full moon was really intense, and I've spoken to so many of you since the full moon happened, and it is a general consensus that anything that you've been studiously lying to yourself about is like, oh no, now you can't lie anymore. And here's the other element that I think is most interesting. We've been in this energy, right? And I've been telling you guys, like, okay, this is not like, you don't have to do anything. Just be. Stop doing. Be. And you don't have to meddle with things. You don't have to control things, right? The other part of that sentence where it's like, you don't have to do things is, but that doesn't mean things aren't going to happen. And that's the whole point now, right? And dudes, like, I'm living it right now, okay? And it is, like, probably why I have a headache. But as soon as you stop dominating all the energy around you and controlling it and needing to figure out what's about to happen and where it's going to go and doing crisis management, damage control, and all of those things, as soon as you stop doing that, you allow other people's sovereignty to kick in, and it is the darndest thing. And so then what happens, right? Then people start moving and you didn't do anything, and it will start coming to you. And just be aware that some of the things that you have been actively manifesting, when they actually start coming to you, you may not recognize them, or you may be like, oh no, that's not how I wanted this to happen at all. But guess what? You don't get to decide that. And that's the whole point. You don't get to decide how everything happens. Can you be happy with and satisfied with the fact that it is happening, with the fact that you wanted change, you wanted movement, you wanted a new energy in your life, and like, now it's here. And you're like, no, but it's not the way that I wanted it done. We have to start moving beyond that, right? Because those are limiting structures on our own selves. So this past Scorpio full moon really pulled us into that space and really set some things in motion, because the whole thing about it is that we are having a split in June. It's becoming ever more clear that this is happening. And there are clearly some things that you cannot take with you into that split. They are too heavy, they are too dense. And if you've already moved into a space with yourself in agreement that where you're going in this split, where you're moving to, then whatever that is that's heavy and dragging you down, it's gotta go. And if you are now actively trusting and leaning into your intuition and stopping that massive control mechanism, things are gonna move fast and freaky and crazy. And you're just gonna be sitting there like, oh, am I okay? And, ask yourself, because I do that every morning. I'm like, you okay, bitch? You still got this? I'm like, yes. Let me go make coffee and go talk to people, So here we are, right? Here's some good news. I have good news for you. Let me just take a sip of this because it's getting kind of cold. Good news. New moon is next week. on Tuesday, May 11th. This new moon is in Taurus. And I don't know if you've noticed, but we've been having a very un-Taurus-like Taurus season, just like we had a very un-Aries-like Aries season, which is annoying, right? Because I don't know about you, but I really like Taurus energy. I really do. And I've been wanting to feel it. And that like dose of Scorpio energy last week just like bowled me over, even though I am a Scorpio, but like, whew, my own medicine is a little bit potent. So anyhow, we're moving into new moon in Taurus, and this is gonna feel so freaking good after the past 2 weeks that we have had. This is going to be the soothing balm to all of your scrapes and rubs and itches and cracks and all the things, and it's gonna be so good. And so and also here's why else it's gonna be so good. I'm inviting everybody to join us. So those of you who are in restoration, you will be on your regular Zoom call, and I'm also going to be streaming live on Instagram. So everybody can join in the new moon call, even if you don't sign up for restoration. Now, if you want to be in it and in the Zoom call, you can sign up for free all the time, code activate, and that will also give you access to the sound healing session with Lana Ryder that's directly following the new moon call. So Tuesday night is going to be fucking amazing. So I'm very excited for that, okay? So I'm looking forward to it, and you should be looking forward to it as well, because it is going to be a celebration. It's a celebration of all the fuckery you just had to go through. It's a celebration of all the things you had to see about yourself and all of the lies you had to be honest with and all of the rough movements and sharp edges and pains and aches, you know, and it's going to feel really nice, and it's going to put us back in our bodies a bit. It's going to give us some luxury. It's going to give us some soothing feels. You know, Taurus energy is so comforting, right? Taurus energy is like naps and snacks. And we are going to have a nap and a snack on Tuesday. It's going to feel so good. And it's going to set us up for this shift that's coming, because whatever we're going to seed, whatever energy we're putting in there on Tuesday night, that's going to be what we are riding through on into June. Did you notice how fast, like, quote unquote, time is going? Because wow, right? So here we go. It's gonna be all right. So with that said, also we have to touch on the fact that we're in Pluto retrograde for the next 5 months, right? 5 months takes us right in through the fall, and Pluto retrograde we're feeling this already, but we're gonna feel it more and more. You'll be fine as long as you stay honest with yourself. Every time your brilliant mind starts to create reasons why you don't need to do your work, Pluto retrograde is going to chafe your butt, okay? So just be aware of that. So whenever you feel friction, ask yourself what delightful master plan lie you've concocted to make it so you don't have to do what you know you need to do. And that's going to be a theme throughout the summer, because there's not a whole lot of time for that anymore, right? So anytime you feel that feeling, look in that space and see what you've been up to. And I say this with so much love and empathy, because I do this to myself constantly. You know, the more that you start to understand and learn about anything, the easier it is for you to bypass yourself, right? Because you're like, oh, this toxic relationship must be some sort of karmic situation, and I have to learn from this. And if it keeps happening, it must mean that I need to go another round and like see what's up with this, right? No, buddy. No, you're just stuck in a drama cycle, and you've learned your lesson probably 3 times now. But you know, don't blame it on karma. This is your choice. You made it, you know. We also make human decisions. Not everything is a magical pact, right? So as you start to get into that space, as we move further into the summer, anytime you start to feel friction with yourself, jump back in and see where you might be bypassing, because it's something we do and it's okay. Just, you know, it's something to look at, right? Okay, so Pluto retrograde is also looking at those places where you have a need to dominate and be in control of everything, right? Where are the places where you're ego feeding, and where are the places where you're ego feeding others? How do you balance that out? And we will continue to have conversations about this. 5 months, even though it's not that long, it's like another universe. Like in 5 months, I don't even know what we'll be talking about because I think the shit's gonna be so different by then. But I just bring it up because the Pluto with the Scorpio full moon and the things, it's just a lot, right? We're being hit on all ends. So just know that Tuesday is going to be a really fabulous day and we're celebrating. So I hope to see all of you there and, see what magic comes through and just really celebrate with some levity and joy all of the work that we've been doing and all of the shifts that have occurred and where we are now, right? It's good. It'll be so good. So, yeah. Okay. So anyway, this weekend is Mother's Day. And hold on, we have a comment about that. Claudia says, I released my expectations of Mother Day. I didn't plan a bunch of stuff and I didn't even remind anyone that it was this weekend and I felt very peaceful about it. Last night, her husband told her that he arranged a family photo shoot and got an overnight babysitter so they could go on a nice date. Oh my goodness. That is so exactly what I was talking about whenever you posted that, right? It's like as soon as you let go of that control, you give space for other people to move into some sort of action. So yay, I'm so glad, Claudia. Hey, Kathy. Hi, Stacy. Yep, this one right here is a Lori Sweet, and this one behind me is an Amanda Livelsberger. So I've got two beautiful local artists behind my head. Yay. Okay, let's hop into some Rumi, shall we? Yeah, and Amanda's over here on Instagram. I'm streaming dual, so shout out to Purple Shadows 420 because she did this one right behind me. And actually, if you're on Instagram, you can also see this one here. This one is an original by Alicia Leiter. So I actually have triple goddess paintings behind me representing 3 different beautiful artists in the local area. Another female-owned small business. And this one up here, if you're on Instagram, you can't see it on Facebook, that's me. I did that one. Okay. Show and tell in the office. I'm shuffling. All right. Ooh, I don't think I've ever pulled this one before. No, I have, but it's been years. Okay. Oh, you ready? Oh yeah, Realm and Reason necklace. Wow. Before I read this card, I actually want to say something to you about that because I was taking a survey for a friend who, I don't know, she's doing something, she's doing some business or something, and she wanted people to do the survey. So I was doing the survey, and one of the questions was, what brands do you use all the time that you can't do without? And I was kind of sitting there and I'm like, what brands? And I realized that the bulk of things I use in my everyday life now are from local places right here in central Pennsylvania. And if they're not, they're, from a small female-owned business. I've been really conscious of doing that, but at the same time, conscious of doing it, but also I prefer these products because they're so full of magic. And I feel the difference when I use a candle that's made by a friend. I feel the difference when I'm using incense that's hand rolled by somebody who has a whole story behind it. I love the energy coming off of these beautiful paintings that connect me with the artists themselves. It's something really magical, and it feels like a real gift for me to be able to be a patron of local arts, to be able to kind of tap into that magic of creation that's happening in the local area. And I feel like it adds to everything that I get to experience with it as well. So I'm honored to be in a place where I can, I can do those things, and it does make a huge difference. So I that's why I'm always like, that's where my mug is from, that's where my necklace is from, that's where this is from, that's where that's from, because it's not just stock stuff that you bought from like TJ Maxx or Marshalls, It's magic in your home that somebody actually put their energy into and their love into, and it's just very special. So shop local, friends. Okay, let's read this card. It's number 16, From Nothing to Everything. I'm intrigued. Oh, my friend, if you are longing to be written on, become a blank page. There are moments on the path of love that seem to focus on letting go of identities, of knowledge and certainty, of opinion, and even attempts at control. We may feel as though we are being stripped back to our core, and even then, perhaps further still. We may wonder if we can bear it. What shall, if at all, remain intact through these rigors? We may feel challenged every time we attempt to become something great, as though we are blocked by circumstances beyond our control. Again and again, it is as though a greater hand smacks our wrist the moment we try to take hold of something firmly, someone, anything that brings us certainty or inner stability. Such are the rigors at an advanced stage on the path. We meet this challenge when our soul is ready for it. Why must it be thus? This is a sage question indeed. When we are asked to dispense with our story, the interpretations we have given to our life experiences over the years, we may not hear the request at first. We may vaguely note it, but not recognize the great divine source asking this of us, and so we do not give such an inclination due accord. We may persist with spinning our own tales instead. Oh, our mind may fancy itself to be a great wrangler of the word, impressed with its own judgments and declarations, yet in the light of comparison with the divine tale for our soul, all our fancy shall pass away, revealed as so very frail, like clouds dissipating in the sky. Perhaps we are graced with the realization there is so much more. Or perhaps we still don't get the hint and move into struggle as we try to enact what we think our story should be. Can you even right now? We may hit obstacle after obstacle and create even more terror in our storytelling, that life is such pain, a struggle, that success may not be for us, that we are forgotten and unheard. Yet we could equally choose to wonder if obstacle after obstacle, closed door after closed door, is just a prompt to look for the open window to climb through. And if so, instead of seeking to impose our small story upon the great truth, we can live the truth of our divine destiny. Then something magical happens. We participate through presence along with the unfolding story of our soul journey. We open up to whatever is asked of us, presented to us, happening through us, as we choose each day to come alive as much as we can. Then, as if by magic, there is something else that occurs. That would be grace. Real, rich, dripping with goodness and sustenance. Grace. This is the sacred blessing that enables us to pay attention to opening doors rather than closing ones. The divine assistance that lets us know our life is proceeding according to a greater intelligence and plan. Once we stop thinking quite so much and live day to day, we will be blessed with the realization that our individual life story is so much more extraordinary and perfect than anything we could have summoned, even with our wildest imagination. This oracle comes with guidance for you. You are being asked to let go, to receive, to become empty, to be filled. This may mean letting go of attachment to a lover so you can receive genuine love. I'm sorry, guys. Woo. It may be of no longer holding on to a fantasy of your dream job, but of being guided into your most soulful and successful vocation. It may mean letting go of wishes for your body or health to be other than it is, so you can simply get on with living each day, taking steps into wellness without thinking beyond one day at a time. It is the divine paradox that when we are asked to surrender a story or fantasy, it is because reality is knocking at our door, more often than not, with a delivery of what we have been fantasizing about, but in the best way for us. The human experience of this paradox is that you may feel you are giving up hope, that your fantasy is dying. It may be very painful and bring you much grief, but all that is dying is your attachment and opinion about how it must be. This needs to happen so you can stop dreaming and start living it. This is what is happening for you now. Do not fear any part of your process. Embrace it without expectation, with trust in your heart that the divine is simply guiding you from fantasy into fulfillment. Woo! Well then, if that was not a message from my particular guides this morning, I don't know what was. Okay. Well, my friends, I will leave it at that. I'm sending you so much love. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day if you're celebrating. And I will see you all on Sunday at 4 p.m. We have a really special guest coming on Instagram Live, Britta Hamilton, so that'll be fun. And then I will see you on Monday at 8:30. Reach out if you need anything. I'll be sending my openings for private readings for next week at some point today, if you'd like to book some time. And oh my goodness, let us just breathe, huh? The endings hurt, and it hurts to let go of control, and it hurts to know that you don't get to control a narrative, right? But at the same time, releasing control of what that narrative is does open so many other timelines and does let the energy flow. And so I'm here with all of you, excited for what's coming, grieving for what is ending, and, just one step in front of the other. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for holding space for me to, wake up on a Friday morning and cry at you. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and follow.